You know, like Mike Tyson used to say, everybody's got a plan until I punch him in the face the first time. And that's true, okay? And just as I say, I've never seen a business plan fail on paper. And when the bankers ask you for a business plan, and we're going to get around to that on the presentation, but I'll say it now, and you say, well, Mr. Banker, I appreciate you need something for your file, but have you ever seen a business plan fail on paper? And they'll say no, and he'll kind of chuckle. Self-esteem, self-worth, and taking action. It's boxing. It's boxing. Almost all the other martial arts, they pull punches. In boxing, I mean, when you box, you're not pulling punches. Of course, you can pull punches in boxing, but I mean, it defeats the purpose. You did well. What are the takeaways from our boxing exhibition?
Just go eat. Just do it.
Sounds bad, you think? Yeah. Endurance.
Well, that's why we have one round. But in the real boxing, you're setting the guy up, you're pacing yourself, you're seeing, his reach. Now, in a street fight, you're just all out. That's different. This is more street fighting, except with gloves. And you're not hitting the guy when he's down. Although a couple of you jumped on the other guys when they were down, which was your natural instinct. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I mean, you guys did well, and it works. And I'm glad that I started it a few months ago. And of course, now we have a referee, not because I almost got bounced out of the ring a couple times by the heavyweights when they come flying across the ring. Anything else? Any other takeaways about the boxing?
Don't overthink.
Absolutely. Now, this is one thing. When the guys, like Mike Tyson used to say, everybody's got a plan until I punch him in the face the first time. And that's true, okay? And just as I say, I've never seen a business plan fail on paper. And when the bankers ask you for a business plan, and we're going to get around to that on the presentation, but I'll say it now, and you say, well, Mr. Banker, I appreciate you need something for your file, but have you ever seen a business plan fail on paper? And they'll say no, and he'll kind of chuckle. Well, I want to make the file, I want you to be able to tick all the boxes. What can we do? And they'll normally not forget about the business plan, but when you say that, because the business plan that you're going to give them is not one that you're going to go out of business, right? It's going to be some high and lofty projections that probably won't come true. And business plans are normally categorized in 3 different areas: high case, medium case, low case. And more business plans, low case, come to fruition than the high case. When I see business plans, although I very rarely look at them, I take the low case and I cut it in half. If the dog still hunts, if it still makes money, low case cut in half, or break even, low case cut in half, then I continue to look at it, because I know you've pumped in all the projections to make it better than it is. Anything else? Now, we left off of Josh, where he is talking to the banker, and I went through the 3 most important things. Number 1, he found out what the credit limit was to that individual banker. He said $25 million. Number 2, it was not part of a credit committee, And number 3, he was lending in the specific niche of healthcare that the kid, Josh, was interested in. And those are the 3 minimum things that you've got to find out from the bank. And again, the most important is the guy you're talking to the guy that makes the decision. And most of the presentations, financial presentations in the world, are made to the wrong people. If you're not specifically talking to a credit officer who can sign off on it, then you're wasting your time. Although you do need the practice. I'm telling you need practice, but you don't need practice giving presentations to people that can't make a decision. I want you to practice with guys that can make a decision. Occasionally, normally the bank will have somebody taking notes in the meeting with you. And I used to ask, are you the only person that's part of this credit decision? The banker. And if he says no, and he says, is the other person in the office today? I'd like to have him. And what you're saying in a polite way is you don't want to make the presentation twice. You don't have to come back and say the same goddamn thing again to another banker. And you will put the bankers ill at ease, and that's fine. But it's still a numbers game. Whereas in the boxing ring, you guys are coming out hell-bent for leather because it's just one round. I mean, this is not hell-bent for leather, one round. You got to get the chairman, then the CEO if you're not going to be the CEO, then the CFO, etc., etc. And again, the most unpolished of you in the room will be polished by the time you get down to the motivated sellers. You may not think it, but you will be polished just by definition, because you've given 20, 25, 30, 40 presentations. Any questions about that? You look all calm now. Tonight, I think, is fish and chips night. Isn't it? Fish and chips? Yeah. Yep. Sally and I will extricate ourselves as soon as I stuff myself with too much fish and chips. Fish and chips are pretty good, though. Thank you.